The fundamental difference between Indian government and US government is that India is a parliamentary form of government and US government is presidential form of government. Parliamentary form of government means the Prime Minister shall be the appointed head of the government, whereas, in case of presidential form of government, the President shall be the head of government. In India, almost all major powers are vested to the Prime Minister of India, and in US the President is the most powerful authority. Both Indian Parliament and US Congress are bicameral. Parliament consists of the President, Upper House, and Lower House. The executive in India is inseparably linked to the legislature. The executive in India means the Council of Ministers. In US the President himself is the executive, and hence there is a clear distinction between the executive and the legislature. In India, there is one and only constitution for the whole nation, except for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. As per Article 370 of the Constitution of India, the state can have its own separate constitution. But in the USA the national constitution allows its states to have their own constitutions. That is why the main constitution of the nation is very smaller one. But in India, one of the reasons why the volume of Indian constitution is so large, is that it incorporates matters of all states. Indian constitution is both rigid and flexible in nature. There have been total 120 amendments of the constitution since 1949. US Constitution is comparatively rigid in nature, and there have been only 27 amendments to it since 1776. The fundamental rights specified in Part 3 of the Indian Constitution is the Civil and Political Charter of India. Any law or act passed by the legislature must not mar any of the prescribed fundamental rights or violate the spirit of the Constitution, and in such case the Supreme Court for central level and high courts for state level shall declare such legislation void. In India, number of representatives in the Council of States are decided in a proportional basis, that is, ratio between number of representatives from each state and its population should be same for all. Whereas in the USA the number of representatives in Senate is equal and always 2 for each state. In the Constitution of India, a balance of power has been depicted among the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. Whereas, it is known that the judiciary of the USA is the most powerful. In India, the president is regarded as the ornamental head of the state, and certain special powers are vested to him. He is elected by a special process and not directly by the people. Whereas, the US president is directly elected by the people, and it is said that the US president is the most powerful all over the world. Finally, the structure of Indian government is mainly federal but with strong unitary bias. In case of USA the government is mainly federal in nature because the states are empowered with their own constitutions. This was the major difference between Indian and USA parliamentary systems. What do you think about this? Please do write below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching.